A good Saturday, ladies and gentlemen. This is Gavin Batista, your host at the Prosperity Channel. I wanted to focus on the U.S. economy because we want to really jumpstart the 5.6 to 5.85% gross national product. But something came about. That was last May 25 at Walmart Supercenter, 6100 West Reno Avenue, Oklahoma City. Zip code is 73127. What happened? I bumped into a now infamous criminal family of the murderer of all murderers in the Visayas region by the name of Aruturo Pacificador. This person, based on evidence and based on criminal evidences back in the Philippines, shot to death Evelio Javier, former Antique Governor, 24 times with a baby armalite and a 45 caliber pistol. That granddaughter is the granddaughter of Aruturo Pacificador, an animal, the worthless pig of all pigs in the Visayan region. And that is a good example. That is the perfect example of how I will literally make sure that the Filipino American will be the #1 catalyst all over America to achieve the 5.6 to 5.85% gross national product. Without that professional immigration base, without that professional base of high caliber Filipino American professionals, it is not possible. It is not possible. It's a joke. It's a lie. But with that base, we can go to the stage of a launching pad to make America unstoppable. And the Chinese, believe me, are copying me right now. But before we go into that, I don't want you to be confused. So if you are listening to me right now, to the family of Aruturo Pacificador, it is about time to leave America because you guys are criminals. You are destroying, you are completely destroying the good name, ang marangal na pangalan ng mga Filipino professionals. Pacificador is a murderer. He's a criminal. You don't belong here. We're not coming out with racial statements. We are not coming out with something that is un-American. We are doing this as a freedom to speak the truth about these animals who killed Evelio Javier, former governor of Antique. Now they are using my good name for them to live here in America. And some of them are stealing from me various intellectual properties, which again I will file in the US courts because they're thinking I'm going to act violently against this granddaughter of Javier, of Pacificador. Excuse me for that. They want me to act like a goat. Okay? A goat meaning to say a dupe, an easily dupable sucker to act violently in the Walmart Supercenter. But I am raised by very professional parents, unlike yours. Okay? Ako ay tinuruan ng sapat, ng tamang talino, at yung tinatawag sa Tagalog na tamang paraan para mamuhay ng marangal at sibil. At hindi mga katulad ng mga pacificador, ng mga baboy na winawalang hiya ang pangalan na marangal ng mga Pilipino. So ladies and gentlemen, in fairness to the whites, the blacks, the Hispanics, I'll take that lead. Just like what I did in our great golden state of California. In 2000 to 2006, I was the guy that led the 6.3 trillion US dollars of land, single family residence appreciation of values. And I'm telling you right now, we have that chance again. And all you gotta do is vote for Spencer Pratt. Vote for Spencer Pratt to make that repeat possible. So going back to Pacificador, ano ba ang ginagawa nyo dito? Ano, nanakawan na naman nyo ko dahil kay Ledesma, kay Jose Bong. Mahiya ka naman. Pinatay mo na nga yung amo nga, yung lolo mo, pinatay na si Evelio Javier. Ano, papatayin mo naman kung sino gusto mong patayin dito. You know, we have to really stop the stupidity and making these people take advantage of us good people. So ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to be very clear. We are not related with these pacificador animals. They want to use my good name, but I will not let that happen at all. Because to the family of Evelio Javier, truly, he died. One of the worst massacres in the world, together with 7 other staff members. Pinatay na ng 24 gunshots coming from a 45 caliber pistol and a baby armalite. Pinatay na siya. Pinatay pa yung mga staff members. 7 yun. There were 7 people who died, staff members on top of former Governor Evelio Javier, who died with 24 shots. 24 shots. It cannot be worse than that. And now in history, it is known as the Sibalom Bridge Massacre. And that is why I would like to be very clear. I would like to be very, very clear. Kristi Noem was right. We have to deport these people at all costs. At all costs. Because if not, it's difficult to achieve quickly the objective of 5.6 to 5.85% gross national product. How does that work? Again, it starts with the base. And then we go stage 1, launching pad, new economic policies, new demand curve programs. And the list goes on. The push and pull technique. Not that stupid guy who copied me. And now he wants to fool Robert Kiyosaki. Of course there's cash flow. But now the cash flow has to be what? Net profit cash flow. Not the Chinese way. Oh, I did an all-time high of increasing our business by 400%. Well, congratulations. You have successfully fooled your board of directors and, oh my God, I hate to say this word, your investors that continue to suffer. So ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to be very clear. We're the real deal here. We're not going to play games with you. We are the only TV host in the world that you can call up. We're not like MSNBC. They talk and talk, like this my way, you know. And then at the end of the day, you follow, and what happens? You lose money, and more money is lost. Before you know it, everything is gone, and your family is destroyed. You divorce your husband or your wife because there's no more money. And they're there the following day. They continue the talk just to talk and analyze, and you follow, and you can't even give them a call. You can't even give them a call or an email for them to respond as to what they're talking about. I would like to know if I were to bet or I invest in this stock, what will happen? Look what happened to the Bernanke economics and Hank Paulson economics. Up to now, we're suffering. Up to now, the whole Golden State is in the dumpster. All because of their, what I call the worst economic policies in U.S. history. And as I was telling my fellow investors who listen to me day in, day out, if they simply extended the term of Alan Greenspan as Fed Chairman or Central Bank Governor of the United States of America, this would have never happened. But because, you know, America's mentality is always like this. Oh, no. Anybody can become like Alan Greenspan. Oh, no. Anybody can become like this Gavin Bautista. No, he's all talk. And then what happens? You can't even communicate with them. Why? Because they are the ones who are all talk and who really don't know what they're doing. In fact, they're just taking advantage of your ignorance, of your lack of knowledge of certain new economic policies, programs, and systems. Like, I'm a firm believer of econometrics. But there's a new way of doing it. Faster and more prosperous for your family. For you, dear listener. So ladies and gentlemen, let's move forward quickly and also mention about this person by the name of Jesse Javier Carlos. Nothing to do with Evelio Javier. But the bottom line is we don't want these Filipinos to last 1 hour more in the United States, like the family of Berting Labra, the arsonist. You know, we want to follow the lead of former Department of Homeland Security, Kristi Noem's lead, which is former Department of Homeland Security lead, which is what? To deport. I can't imagine they even get a free ticket right now. They get a free ticket just to leave. We have to do that incessantly, non-stop. really plug it in. And before you know it, the base is clear. We go to stage 1, stage 2, stage 3. It will be a prosperity boom that we will manage to make it sustainable at least in the next 5 years. Very strong growth. You will be very happy. And you're talking to a very open-minded, smart, intelligent, talented, the great Kevin Warsh. And of course, Secretary of Treasury, Scott Bessent. And my proposal is going to be, my proposals will be endless, because it's all about intelligence. It's all about intelligence. It's all about new systems to achieve a very, very high gross national product, which is, in our estimates, 5.6 to 5.85%. How do you achieve that? I will explain that step by step, because I'm doing the groundwork right now. And I'm telling you right now, ladies and gentlemen, we have to take away all of these bad eggs. Pacificador, this, what is that? Jesse Javier Carlos, I think, is associating with this animal by the name of Wendell Armanaga, Labra, okay? And the list goes on. And I will formally put this in writing to the new Department of Homeland Security, because an economic boom cannot last if there is outstanding problems on criminal issues. It will only make the economy very unstable. And when that happens, the 5 years will be of growth will be achieved, and we will again come out with new systems to sustain this growth in the next 5 years, and so forth and so on. But the base of it all, the foundation of it all, would be professional immigrants, law-abiding, and who are able to contribute through direct and indirect taxes in the U.S. economy. And I'm telling you right now, those Chinese manufacturers will ultimately melt, because they do not believe in free enterprise. They do not believe in solid grounds of capitalism, and above all, they always circumvent the law. Americans don't do that. That's why the other countries in Europe, especially in Southeast Asia, and other nations in other continents, will just see the boom and want a piece of the action by investing in the United States. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to end this particular segment because I want to move forward already to explain how the new economic programs will work in America. What is good in America, what the new policies in America does not equal to be good for certain other countries. I'd like to repeat. So that there's no blaming game here, no? What is good in America, you cannot copy in China. You cannot copy in Japan. You cannot copy in Germany. Why? Because economics up to now is still a social science. Okay? Economics, the Chinese tried it. They wanted to become a scientific branch of government by making economics strictly scientific. Didn't work. Japan, based on their culture, also wanted to do it, but it ended up with deflation. So how are they going to solve it? If you think that their base is America, no, it's Japanese. And even in my mother country, the Philippines, they are thinking that, the current central bank governor is thinking, oh, we will now lower down interest rates. They're trying to be like the American way. Very, very wrong. And that's why I call my economic formulas as Gavinization. What does that mean? It means that the success of the economy will depend upon the new immigrants and the current immigrants coalescing with each other. But let me stress that word, that term, professional immigrants. Professional immigrants. Cultured, knowledgeable, willing to follow the rule of law, and above all, contribute both direct and indirect taxes. And a lot of people do not know what indirect taxes are all about. Indirect taxes can be in the form of tangible or intangible assets on your part. You can become an inventor. You can create a new system to increase the efficiency of your company you're working for. And the list goes on. It's complicated economics, ladies and gentlemen. But once you understand it, you'll say, oh my God, America will have a new industrial revolution. And we will prioritize American products and professional services and other American assets. Not only in terms of goods and services, but in terms of music, entertainment, sports, and the list goes on. America first. America focus. America buy, made in America. But if you want to do a joint venture with other countries, very good. That is economically sound. Why? Because we have to do this fast. Before, again, what? You said it right. The Chinese will copy this. The Chinese, I guarantee you, are watching me day in, day out. But I am so many steps ahead of them. Years ahead of them. In fact, my former companies, Johnson & Johnson, Procter & Gamble, Unilever, are all saying, if we listen to Gavin Batista, we would have been, oh my God, having spectacular growth. But who did they listen to? The amateurs. The guys who would say, well, I made a mistake, I apologize. I am not doing that to you, ladies and gentlemen. So, thank you very much. We finished this particular segment. This is your host, Gavin Batista, at the Prosperity Channel. We are doing this program this Saturday. It is May May 30, I'm sorry, May 30. And I'm very confident, ladies and gentlemen, that we will achieve the 5.6%, 5.825% based on the new formulas, the new economic theories that America will take advantage of. Thank you. Good evening. This is your host, Gavin Batista, at the Prosperity Channel. For the other channels, all you have to do if you want to rewind it is to go to Gavin Batista, Gavin space Batista at the Prosperity Channel 91. Hit me with a subscribe, a like, and I know millions of you are just dying to meet me. But because of my schedule, in fact, I lost my voice a few weeks ago. I could not respond immediately. So you can hit me with an email at superdeals1494@gmail.com. And again, I would like to end this particular segment by toasting a new kind of beer that we have in America, the Michelob Ultra. Nothing beats the waters in America. You know, when you drink this beer, it lowers down your blood pressure. It makes you relaxed. So I salute you, America. See you soon, and let's make it happen. 5.6 to 5.85% gross national product. Michelob Ultra. Oh boy, I feel so relaxed. Try it.